Police officers and first responders wear badges to let their communities know they are here to protect and serve. But it comes at a price. Samantha Horwitz and John Salerno work with police departments across the country to bring valuable recovery, insight resources, and workshops. A Badge of Honor TV brings those professionals to you so we can come together and revitalize communities through a better understanding of what's at stake and what's required for repair. So take a load off and turn up your TV. It's about to get real.
Hey, welcome to a Badge of Honor TV. Always screw that up. Badge of Honor TV with John and Sam on this Mental Health Monday, man. You're going to get healthy on this Monday with John and Sam. You know, it has been a hot day in Texas. It's burning everybody's brains out. But we are here to help fix that, maybe help you decompress a little bit, cool down that brain, and let it start thinking clearly. How's everything, Sam?
You know, it is a beautiful Monday despite the heat. And you and I, we've been working behind the scenes to pull a lot of stuff together when it comes to putting the show together. I'm just getting a notification here that one of our streams is acting a bit squirrely. So hopefully we will be able to connect there. It's TV land, right? So
it happens. It happens.
We know it happens. We never know. But, you know, I think, forefront on everybody's mind, a huge shout out to the Trump administration today in federalizing the police force in the District of Columbia. So, you know, we are backing the blue in DC. Know that you have a lot of people that really support you and understand the climate that you've been stuck in and not able to do your job effectively. The revolving door of making arrests, and then the perp you arrested is right back out on the street because of the court system. And people got fed up, and huge action taken today. We'll see how it rolls out. But I will say, hey, if you're in the DC area and you're a law-abiding patron, as all of our listeners and watchers are, if you see one of the police officers, just say thank you, because they really are. They're kind of in uncharted waters right now,
it is frustrating for our law enforcement, especially when the revolving door of justice does not do. You know, these men and women put their lives on the line, and when they make a collar or they arrest somebody, and the person is out of jail before even the paperwork is completed, you know, and that happens over and over and over again. These brave men and women go, why am I risking my life? Why am I putting my life on the line for a criminal justice system that is not going to fulfill their obligations as well? And it's a stressful, sad situation for our law enforcement. And God bless them all for really sticking to it and really keeping, you know, moving forward and doing their job, because, man, it is a hard world out there for these men and women. And we got to thank them. We got to bless them each and every day.
Well, hopefully, nobody wants to see the National Guard brought in, but to their cities. But if it had to happen to clean up the mess, then it's going to get cleaned up.
Yeah, that's it.
And you know, part of that is there'll be a lot of people that are relieved. The stress is going to continue because, you know, you swear an oath, you're a police officer. And maybe after this phase of policing, whatever it looks like, maybe you need to decompress. And our guest tonight can absolutely help you do that. Why don't we make a quick switch here? We're going to bring on Amy and Ruth from EQuest right here in our backyard in the Big D, Dallas. Hey, Amy. Hey, Ruth. How are you?
Good. Hi, doing well. How are y'all?
Awesome. Well, welcome to a Badge of Honor TV. And Ruth, we'll start with you. Tell everybody watching and listening on the favorite podcast app a little bit about you, your background, and how you landed at EQuest.
Thank you. Thank you so much to both of y'all for having us on today. Thank you for giving us this platform, first and foremost, to just give a little bit of information and hopefully help some people. So I got to be the Veterans Program Coordinator here at EQuest, and I've been here for just about 2 years. I have a heart for the people who have served. I have many family members, uncles, grandparents, cousins who have served in the armed forces. And so I have seen firsthand how they give their lives and they sacrifice everything for our country. And so because of that, I want to honor those who have served and really help in any way that I can. So I do a lot of that here at EQuest.
And you get to see the results of your work, which is phenomenal. And, that's makes you want to go to the next one and the next one. So thank you for your passion in this, and thank you for everything you're doing for our first responders and our veterans.
Thank you.
And how did you get to EQuest? Was it just the passion because you had veterans in your family, or like what did you do in your past before?
Cleaning stalls. I was cleaning stalls. Hey, this horse is pretty cool. I'm gonna go talk to it.
So actually, when maybe about 20 years ago or so EQuest is on its 45th year.
Yeah, I believe 40-ish.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so EQuest has been around for a minute. So about 20 years ago or so, I had a good friend who invited me to volunteer at EQuest, and she knew that I loved horses and just didn't have the opportunity to be around them. And so I came, and yes, I mucked stalls at EQuest.
You're cleaning up the mess that the horse made, and you're cleaning up the veteran and the first responder mess. Good for you.
And so one of my first experiences and first memories of being at EQuest was with a client who was legally blind. And I was watching her on this beautiful white Arab mare who was running around and jumping over poles. And I'm thinking, that girl is blind up there. And she is just, and nothing would stop her from doing the things that she did. So it was such an incredible, and that marked me in my youth for sure, of this is something that I would love to pursue later on. This is something that, and that's definitely a core memory for me. So
that is absolutely amazing. And Amy, you've been around horses for a really long time. Amy and I have we've known each other for ever since our kiddos were in school together, and they're both graduated and on to their next fun adventures. Tell everybody watching and listening all about you, your background, and how you also landed at EQuest.
Sure. Sam is right. I've been involved with horses since as long as I can remember. I think I was 6 when I first started taking riding lessons. I've been teaching in the equine industry for over 30 years. I started as a professional horse trainer and ran my own business for a while, and then got a little burnt out with the high stress of performance and watching children that got fancy horses and didn't really appreciate maybe some of the things that they had, because I had to work really hard to have the horses that I rode, and clean stalls on the weekends to board my own horse. And so I didn't feel like there was that connection that I had when I was growing up. So that's what caused me to seek out therapeutic riding. So in 2003, I came to EQuest and trained in the EQuest instructor training course and got my certification for therapeutic riding. And Ruth also went through our training course here at EQuest. So we gathered together, those of us that come through the training. And that's what really started I've been in therapeutic riding now for 23 years. I'm a master certified instructor for therapeutic riding. I'm also certified in our interactive vaulting, our therapeutic carriage driving, and as an equine specialist in mental health. So I have all the certifications that PATH International, which is our parent organization, the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship, offers. And I've been in administration and directed programs here at EQuest for 8 years here at the Dallas site.
Wow. Now, Amy, you really hit a key word that I want to touch on that a lot of people I don't think are familiar with, and it's that therapeutic riding you just said. A lot of people think with equine therapy, you're going to go there, you're going to interact with the horse. It's going to be more of an emotional thing. Like when I went through equine therapy, it was the same thing. We didn't ride any horses. But tell us the value of the riding experience, what that does for the first responder or a veteran. How does that differ than just the regular interaction with the horse, but getting up there and actually riding it?
That's a great question. We're going to leave everybody on a little bit of a cliffhanger while we go to our first break here. So, Ruth had mentioned having veterans in her family and just the meaning of it and how important that is. And, now more than ever, it is important to support companies and organizations that share our values, because our votes are not enough. And at Patriot Mobile, they not only share our beliefs, but they do something about it. They are America's only Christian conservative wireless carrier, and they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes that you care about. So switch to Patriot Mobile now and get a free month with the offer code BADGE. So go to patriotmobile.com/badge or call 972-PATRIOT and let them know that a badge of honor sent you by saying, hey, I want to use promo code BADGE. What that gets you is a free month of service. Again, that matters. So you're not switching. You're staying on the top 3 carriers. You're switching to Patriot Mobile. So your money is now going to a company that actually cares about you as a customer. And it's great to have your money go to somebody that gives back to organizations like ours, like EQuest and many others in the first responder and veteran space, rather than, taking your money and putting it to lots of other different things that we sometimes talk about on this show, but not always. But seriously, go to patriotmobile.com and use promo code BADGE. Get yourself a free month of cell service. Doesn't get any better than that. Thank you, Patriot Mobile. Now back to the show. We're talking with Amy and Ruth from EQuest. And Amy, John asked you a really important question. A lot of us show up to equine therapy and we don't actually get on the horse. Whereas when folks go to your website and they learn more about what you guys do, it's Therapeutic Horseback Riding. Do I have that right?
Yes. So there's actually some terminology probably that we should lay out and square away a little bit, because in our industry, we have equine assisted therapies, but we also have other equine assisted activities. And the therapies are all with medical professionals. So either a mental health professional, like our counseling programs, or physical or occupational therapy or speech therapy. So we kind of divide those into 2 categories. At EQuest, we cover the whole umbrella of everything that you could probably want to work with a horse. So we offer all those therapies. We don't offer speech, but we offer occupational therapy, physical therapy, and kind of equine assisted counseling. But we also offer other services that are equine assisted activities or equine assisted services that are supervised by certified professionals, but not in the medical professional realm. So that would be our certified therapeutic riding instructors and our equine specialists in mental health and learning. So some of those activities are mounted and some of those are unmounted. So we have a little bit of crossover there, but we also have to remember to stay in our lanes, because as a therapeutic riding instructor, I'm not a medical professional, but there are so many benefits for being mounted on the back of a horse that a therapeutic riding instructor can help an individual develop physical, cognitive, and emotional skills and work through their challenges in life. So the mounted activities are not only getting you bonding with the horses like some of the unmounted activities or the other therapies do, but you also are getting that physical attribute, that processing. Riding a horse is a multi-step processing activity. So your cognitive challenges are worked through, as you know, there's so many facets to it, and you're on a moving table. So there's all the sensory and emotional part, but it's also a sentient being that you're bonding with. And that's the biggest tool I think that we have, is working with a living, breathing animal. And you can't simulate that outside of working with horses. So that's what's so unique about all of our programs is that how the horse interacts with the people.
See, Sam, I don't know when the last time you were on a mounted or got on a horse or a stallion or whatever terminology it is, right? But just reading a little bit about the riding therapy aspect of it, like I have been on a horse probably since I was about 10 years old. Is it the motion of the gallop, and if you get into that right motion, is it almost like therapeutic where your mind has to control this horse and it all balances out? Is that what really connects everything?
Well, usually we're not at galloping speed right away. So
yeah.
It's like,
because if we're walking, I'm like this.
But yes, I mean, everybody that wants to come in really knows what they're doing. They want to go fast, right? But
I'm bouncing like this on a horse. It's really not therapeutic.
What's really unique about the horse's gait when they ambulate is their pelvis rotates and flexes the same way as ours does when we ambulate. So if you have someone with a physical challenge, we have lots of young children that maybe have developmental delay or physical issues, and they may not be ambulating on track with their age. If they are on that horse and that pattern is happening, so they're sitting, they're not even having to be active because the horse is activating for them. And it develops that muscle memory and pattern that you would have when you're ambulating. So we've actually seen people take their first steps because that horse helps make that neurological connection from their physical ability, from their muscles and their physical structure to the brain to say, hey, this is the walking pattern that you want to have. And the horse just gives us that without us even having to try, right? So that their ambulation pattern mimics what our ambulation pattern should be like. And then people think, you get on the horse and you're just sitting up there and it's really easy. Well, you actually burn a lot of calories and you engage a lot of parts of your body. Your legs are active, your core is active for balance. So if you have somebody with lower tone, it really helps activate that tone and stimulate engagement. If you have someone with high tone, that spasticity can get broken up, and that helps actually them move and relax more. We've seen people with really tight cerebral palsy in their legs, and they are so tight in the beginning, but as the horse moves in the warmth of the body, everything starts to stretch out and they can use their legs better. So there's just so many neat things that can happen physically while you're on horseback.
Lots of benefits that I'm just learning now. I didn't know those were, that's a lot goes into this.
Yep. We think about a lot of things, and we think about how the movement, a particular type of movement of the horse and how their size and shape affect the individual that's riding them too. So there's a lot of training behind choosing the right mount for the individual and what their needs are and what their goals are.
So let me ask a question in terms of needs and goals. Ruth, with the veteran and first responder population, we talked a lot about cerebral palsy and maybe children that have never walked before. That is absolutely amazing. I had absolutely no clue that horses can do that for people. In terms of veterans and first responders, that I guess they would have trouble ambulating if they are an amputee, possibly. But what kind of programs and what do they come to you guys for?
Yeah, so majority of the veterans and first responders that we see here right now are going to be a part of our counseling program. So similar to what John was talking about and what Sam, I think you said that you have experienced as well, of coming in and being on the ground. And so we say here that it's just as important out of the saddle as in the saddle. You get just as many benefits with that human horse connection piece of being out of the saddle as well as in the saddle. So, and we were really, really all about the communication and connection pieces for our veterans and first responders, whether it is PTSD, whether it is physically, mentally, emotionally, having those moments with our equine. And another popular thing that we say here a lot is the horse is the therapist. We do have our mental health professionals, like Amy was saying, in that space as well. And then you would have one of our horse professionals, which we have, like Amy said, the ESMHL, which is an equine specialist in mental health and learning. And it's a team. It's a team of 3 beings, your counselor, your medical professional therapist, an ESMHL, and then one of the horses, or maybe it's a group of the horses, of people and individuals who get to help the first responder or veteran that comes.
And do you do that by group, or is it, one-on-one appointments? How does that work?
Yeah, so we offer both here at EQuest. So we have different groups. I've partnered a lot with the VA. So whether it's the VA in Dallas as well as the Bonham VA, so we have groups that come, whether it be the mental health side of it or also just learning about horses, just horsemanship skills, just getting to be around them helps to lower our heart rate, helps to lower our blood pressure. And so just being in their presence gets to do that. So I feel like there are studies that have been done, and now the science is catching up to what we as humans have always known when we get to be around animals. Animals are therapy. Just being outside in nature is therapy. It's life-giving to us. And so now the research is catching up to that and being like, oh yeah, this is a really good idea. We should stand outside in the sun.
Exactly. We've heard a couple of stories, that horses they're a mirror. They'll let you know, like, hey, if you are not okay, we're just going to move away from you, which I think is fascinating because it clues you into, hey, you need to come in and we're going to work together to bring that stress level down. Hey, we got to take our next quick break. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Amy and Ruth from EQuest. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Look, when you need to respond to an aggressive situation to protect yourself, your family, or your property, understanding your firearm and legal position are critical. Officers know your skills are only as good as your commitment to training. So know what you're doing. So when you're in a vulnerable situation, we can count on your response. Whether you're a beginner or a licensed gun carrier, Carry in Texas offers basic firearms training, Texas permitless carry courses, license to carry, and basic 2A courses so you can understand the responsibilities, situational awareness, and learn the technical skill required when you carry your firearm. Go to carryintexas.com to find the right course for you. Join me, former United States Secret Service agent Samantha Horwitz, on the range for beginner basics, LTC prep, and range practice. Go to carryintexas.com today. That's carryintexas.com.
Hey, welcome back to A Badge of Honor TV with John and Sam. We are here on this Mental Health Monday doing equine therapy with EQuest with Ruth and Amy. Welcome back, guys. Before we took our last break, we were discussing the therapeutic impact of riding. Now, me being from New York, there wasn't many horses around, except if upstate. But I had the opportunity of doing a standalone with one of the horses. And for everybody who's listening, I was in a hypervigilant state for about 30 years through a whole bunch of different traumas. And for the first time in my life, this was a therapeutic modality that really took me out of that sense of hyper vigilance. And I felt calm for the first time. It was scary as hell because I didn't know that. I've never felt that feeling before. But it really decompressed me. Mm-hmm. Horses have such a way, and Sam, you said it. If you are tense, you saw the horse that day would move away from me or wouldn't come with, wouldn't walk, wouldn't do anything. But after I relaxed for a couple minutes, it felt that I guess my heart rate went down, everything went down. So, I believe in so much wholeheartedly in equine. It is a great therapeutic modality.
Let's talk a little bit about your programs, because you guys have been around 44 years. And that's a long time to develop a lot of programs with tremendous impact. Take us through the programs that you guys offer.
Is that me or you?
Whoever wants to start, or you guys can split them.
Our fastest growing program right now is our counseling program. So we work with veterans and first responders, but also civilian population in our counseling program. And that is, like Ruth said, one-on-one with an individual counselor working with the horses, or also we have the group therapy sessions as well, counseling groups as well, a couple times during the week. And we're working with certain groups that actually Ruth has really connected well, and getting some of the VA groups to come in to see us. Our mainstay of what started EQuest was therapeutic horsemanship. And that's where they learn the skills of horseback riding. And so the individual may or may not need assistance from volunteers. So we usually have someone that's helping assist guide the horse, as well as sidewalkers that might have to help keep the individual balanced or help communicate with them. And some of our riders, when they start out, need 3 people with them. One to help control the horse as they're learning the skills, and then the other 2 to help them be secure in the saddle. But we have riders all the way up to being able to ride independently as well, that they've learned the skills over time, and we've helped them with adaptive equipment to be able to work through their limitations and learn about all their abilities in the saddle. So therapeutic horsemanship is probably our largest program right now. We probably serve about 100, 120 clients a week in our therapeutic riding program.
Wow.
We also have physical and occupational therapy on horseback, where the movement of the horse is part of the treatment modality. They don't learn the skills of horseback riding in PT or OT. It's actually physical or occupational therapy prescribed by a physician, and they work one-on-one with that therapist. And you may see them not in actually traditional riding gear. So they may be sitting in a bareback pad. They might be sideways or backwards or laying down on the horse. It's however they decide that movement is really going to help break up spasticity or work on low range of motion, or maybe they're limited on one side of their body, so they're working to strengthen one side of their body. So the volunteer support, again, is very, very important. We have about 300 volunteers a week that help us run all of our programming.
Wow.
As we wouldn't be able to staff it. So PT and OT, we see a lot of young children, and we start as young as age 2 in physical and occupational therapy. In our therapeutic riding, we can start as young as age 4. So we do see a lot of children with development delays, physical and cognitive issues that may be starting with us in those programs, and then hopefully growing with us in those programs as well. We do have an equine assisted learning program as well. It's similar to the same groundwork activities that you may see in counseling, but it's not with a mental health provider. It's with an educator or with one of our equine specialists in mental health and learning. They learn horsemanship skills on the ground, but also learn about nonverbal communication, sequencing, teamwork, working with other people in their group, and all that. We actually even work with corporate groups sometimes in our equine assisted learning, and more of a coaching team up is what we call that group. So those programs are where we work with the horses as they're on the ground, not mounted activities in our equine assisted learning. Our literacy program also falls under equine assisted learning. We work with first graders. This year we worked with 400 of them from the metro area. That is a lot of first graders to see in May, by the way. And we do a 4-week reading program where we take our miniature horses to their school. And then one of our miniature horses is their pen pal for 4 weeks and sends them lessons. And we give them a book that has a lot of our horses in it. And we target things that they're working on for their STAR testing for first grade year. So rhyming, capitalization. I'm not the expert on the literacy, Kim is, but put in the book. But the teachers say that it parallels they're refreshing at the end of the year, right around STAR test time. So it's a good.
Have you seen an improvement? So, or the teachers maybe give you
the teachers love it. We have now the whole program is completely underwritten, which is great. So we offer the services free to the schools now. So that's why we've been able to increase. We started 4 years ago with 12 students in a pilot program, and we jumped to 200 2 years ago and 400 last year. So because we were able to get sponsorship for the programming. So it's been a great, huge exponential growth and a fun thing. At the end of that 4 weeks, they come to EQuest for a field trip, and they get to interact for 2 hours with the horses. And kind of the culmination of that is taking their book that they've been working on reading for 4 weeks, and they read to the horses in the barn. And it's amazing to see how the horses engage with the children and lean their heads out and look inside the books. We had a few maybe eat the books too, but it's really cool how the kids get so excited about learning and about reading. It from our data collection there's a percentage of those kids, especially in the city of Dallas, that have never even seen or been around horses. So this is kind of a unique opportunity for them to step out of the city streets and the cars and the traffic and come out to see these animals that they may have never been in contact with before. And but also they get so engaged in wanting to share that with the animals. And that has been a big motivator. I think about 75% of the students show, according to the teachers, and then a self reflection that it's hard to collect data from first graders, when they say, does this happy or sad? Do we have little happy faces? Right. But like 75% are more excited about reading after they go through our 4-week program.
That's huge.
That's huge. It's a very formative time for children at that age too. And literacy is such a hot topic. Everybody needs to know how to read.
And I'm sure a lot of these teachers who have been experienced, they know where that child's going after. You could usually tell what path that child's on, and you guys are putting you are putting a child on a path of success by taking these programs. And like you said, bringing a city kid in, I can't imagine their face when they first time see a horse. They must be just so overwhelmed or
scared.
And our mini horses are the great introduction, right? So the small ones go to the school, so they're introduced and they get to touch them and they're their height, And so that is a really great way to get that introduction. And in the field trip, we work with what we do in hand in their little activities is all with the minis and our ponies. And then they go down the barn aisle and all the horses are in their stalls where they can only stick their head and neck out. So it's not quite as intimidating, I think, as just bring the big horse. And so we tailor it to their size, which is kind of fun.
That's awesome.
That is really fantastic. Well, when we come back from our next break, I want to talk about we're talking about the group dynamic, and for first responders and veterans, kind of bringing the family into the fold and how you work with families. So we got to take our next break. We will be right back. John and I, if you've watched the show from the beginning, we are no stranger to coffee. And the difference is there we go. We like to drink good coffee. And at East Texas Legends Coffee Company, it is founded by Ben and Amanda Holmes. It reflects their journey from Ben's Marine Corps service and law enforcement career, overcoming PTSD to finding purpose in ranching. Relocating to an East Texas ranch, they identified a need for a local coffee brand. Now they're opening their first coffee shop in Lindale, Texas, rooted in faith, family, and community. Their mission: inspire purposeful conversations over coffee. So drink coffee and be legendary. You can go to, I'll put up the link right now. It is etxlegendscoffee.com and use promo code BADGE for 15% off all their coffees and merchandise. Live with purpose, 1 cup of coffee at a time. That's East Texas Legends Coffee Company, etxlegendscoffee.com. At the checkout screen, put in their promo code BADGE and you will get 15% off. It is delicious coffee, not bitter. And just to be honest with everybody watching and listening, we've been looking for a coffee company for a very long time who, again, is aligned with our values. And with Ben and Amanda being not only a veteran family, but also a first responder family, it was a no-brainer to have a conversation. And then it got solidified after trying their coffee. So let them bring the best of East Texas coffee to you. Again, go to the website ETX. I'm going to put it up because I'm obviously butchering that one. etxlegendscoffee.com. Promo code BADGE, 15% off. 15, not just the usual 10. 15. We got you covered with everything you need. They got flavored coffee as well. So whether you want
and K-cups, and they got the K-cups.
Yeah, exactly. They got the little cups for your little K-cups. Everything you need. They also have great merch, and you can use the promo code to save 15% on the merchandise as well. So drink coffee, be legendary. Thank you, Ben and Amanda. Now back to the show. Amy and Ruth from EQuest, and we're talking before we left for the break about first responders and veterans. Your programming runs deep. You bring in kids, you bring in families, you work with adults, able-bodied and adaptive. Let's talk about our first responder and veteran families. How do you guys bring them together to help heal families?
Yeah, for sure. It really is about the individual needs, and also the entire group, right? So depending on what that looks like. So we've had maybe the veteran spouse starts coming in for counseling first, and then maybe the veteran starts coming in, and then maybe the kiddos come in, right? So it's definitely that kind of thing of one gets involved and they see the benefits. They see how the life-changing, the attitude, the life-giving that it does for, maybe it's the kiddo that gets started first, and our therapeutic riding program, just so many different ways, right, that to get started. And then also volunteering. So a lot of our people come in, and then I had one veteran client who came in and just started volunteering. That's what she wanted to do. And she just came in and showed up every once in a while. We'd hang out. I'd hang out with her with the horses, and then she'd do a little bit of something as much as she could and as much as she was able to that day. And then she would come back next time, right? Just little by little. And then she started interacting in one of the classes, the groundworking classes. And then she started being a part of our vaulting program. And then she started being a part of our driving program. She showed up to the yoga, and then her husband started coming with her and started doing all. So it's just, you get your little foot in the door, and then you're like, ooh, I need more, just a little bit more. And I just need to be here even more. And so I know we haven't gotten a chance to go over, but we do have the vaulting program as well as the driving program.
Yeah, we didn't get to all of our programs.
We got a lot going on.
We got a lot of stuff.
Vaulting, driving. I feel like we're gymnastics here.
Yeah. I think just to add to what Ruth was saying, that when we started this program, I think it was 2010, we were trying to remember if it was 2010 or 2011 when we did the first pilot, that the whole family was so important to us, that we wanted to be able to offer services and be able to subsidize that for individuals coming, not because it's the whole family that's affected when someone is deployed or when the veteran is serving or the military professional is serving. So it was part of the whole wellness is making sure that everybody is taken care of. So we've always been very careful to also find spaces for veteran dependents as well, their children and their spouses, to keep that program whole.
Because it's such a the space. So we even have people who are, maybe they're a veteran, maybe they're a first responder, but they're also married to a veteran or a first responder, and they, that camaraderie definitely runs deep. And so that's one of the ways that we have gotten to get involved, and they bring each other, right? It's so much of that word of mouth of someone came and we partnered with Warrior Spirit Project, and they were brought. And so then they're like, oh, I do want to do yoga with horses and I rest meditation. And so they bring
them into the goat yoga thing now. Oh yeah, come on. No.
No, if a horse stepped on your back, you'd be horses.
Miniature horse goat yoga and
the goats for sure.
What occurs, because we know the folks, and we're familiar with the iRest. What do the horses do while the person is doing yoga?
Yeah, one of my favorite things is David and Charlotte Truesdale with Warrior Spirit Project. Once I started here at EQuest and got to know them, and I was like, yes, come do the thing. So that is part of my background is yoga. I've been certified teaching yoga for many years now. And so I'll be going through their certification because it is very specific. Cool. Trauma-informed yoga is different. And so I want to get to know more about that. So that'll be my next year goals, as well as the iRest meditation portion of it. And so they started coming and we just started moving with the horses. And one of the things about them, like we've already discussed, is that way that you just walk into their presence. And so when you think about the radius of a human, of just how we interact with one another, we have about a 10-foot radius in which that electromagnetic field or that heart rate or our whatever you want to say, the vibe or is put out there. So for horses, they have a 50-foot radius. And so you're talking about they can be across the field or across the arena from you, and they know what's going on, right? John, you even
they can feel you from that far away.
Yes,
wow.
because
your presence or your aura or your just
energy.
Your energy. Yeah. Wow.
So whatever. So I read about a study that was done with a woman and her horse, and this was a ground working therapy, and they put heart monitors on both the equine and the participant, and then they monitored the heart levels when they were separate, and then as they were getting closer together, and then the physical touch, and then as they separated, and through the session of psychotherapy that they were having, their heart rates started to match up with one another. And then started, right? And so having that co-regulation mentality, when you think about horses, they are herd animals. Their entire survival is all about the herd. One horse head goes up and looks, everybody goes up and looks, right? Any herd animals, that's part of that thing. And so when you bring them into a space where everyone is breathing together, everyone is moving together, they're like, hey guys, I just want to hang out.
Where did this?
Did the horses just lay down?
We've had some beautiful moments. One of my favorite yoga partners in the herd is Thorin. And maybe someday y'all will get to come and meet him. He is massive. He is one of the biggest horses that we have, and he's black and he's beautiful, and his mane is always in his eyes, and he's a powerhouse of a horse, and yet his power is so gentle and so kind and so giving when he is in that space. Because most of the time you get in the space and we say hi to the horses and kind of hang out, and then we have a moment where everyone just kind of makes a circle. Thorin will come around and he will introduce himself.
Oh, wow.
Breathe on every single person in that circle. And he has this moment. And even so, we also partner with Wounded Warrior Project. And I had a beautiful woman this last time that we had the yoga, and she pulled me aside afterwards. And Thorin had kind of picked her that day and had just stood with her that day. And she pulled me aside and she was like, he knew exactly what I needed. And he knew that I needed his support and his love. And that moment, right? She felt seen. She felt appreciated. She felt known just from Thorin, a horse, coming over and just breathing her.
Yeah.
Like,
you say seen or heard or felt. Those are such true emotions that so many with either in domestic violence or post-traumatic stress or suffering some sort of anxiety, they don't get that or they don't feel that. And when something can give that to them, it opens up a whole new world. It opens up something in your brain and your heart, and it lets endorphins in, and the dopamine rushes, and it just overwhelms you.
And
I can tell by your passion how you're getting,
Yeah.
I get goosebumps like every time I talk about it, because it was without her. She did not have to say anything vocally. Right? How many of the people that we work with, they're not able to voice. Just them walking through our door and saying, I need help. Like, that's not going to happen. Right? Like, just by her showing up, her being in the space, she didn't have to verbally say it, but Thorin knew. He knew exactly what she needed.
He gave her the safe space.
Yes.
That
he
is
gave her that safe space that she needed.
Yes. And that is
that is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I got goosebumps just listening to the story.
I think your passion, you were just like going out like, man,
I was relaxing with you. I was like, ooh. So we are taking
Thorin right back here.
We got to take our last break. We will be right back to finish up with Amy and Ruth from EQuest. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Right.
Rise and vibe with your new elevated morning ritual. Meet Rise by Frequence. frequency charged nutrition. Rise is formulated with a blend of 7 different organic mushrooms, B vitamins, amino acids, and green coffee bean extract. Rise supports brain health, performance, and focus while enhancing mood, mental clarity, and energy. Enjoy the delicious mango lemonade flavor while giving your mind the nutrients it needs. Get charged up with Rise. Fuel your body and mind today.
All right, you hear John and I talk about it every single week. You want to rise and vibe with us. And right now we're just going to pause to acknowledge the importance of your mental well-being. When your mind is in tune, everything in life plays more harmoniously. And at Frequency and here at A Badge of Honor, we believe that supporting your mental health starts with good everyday choices. That's why we partnered with Frequency and especially Rise, because it's a thoughtfully blended and designed to support clarity, mood, and calm energy without the crash. That means it's not loaded with sugar. It's actually keto friendly. And so you don't need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we've all seen. John and I have seen it in person, especially with first responders. Come on, guys, you got to put down the garbage energy drinks that are filled with poison for your body. Pick up something that is delicious, number one, but that fuels your body with all the good stuff, all organic. Again, good sweetness, sugar-free, keto-friendly. You're doing workouts. You want to rise. You want to rise and vibe by using Rise. So wherever you are on your journey, physically as well as mentally, we're here for you. Shop now. We've made it super easy. You can go to abadgeofhonorhealth.com. That's abadgeofhonorhealth.com. We've put together packages. Go over there and read the testimonials about Rise. It sells itself. Pick up a tub, shake it up, take it with you out the door. You will not be sorry. So Rise and Vibe with me and John. And now, yes, and we're vibing right now. We are rising and vibing. We have risen and we are vibing with Amy and Ruth from EQuest. Your programming it's for everybody. I think we can all agree that ever since the pandemic, I want to choose my words carefully based upon what social media outlet we're on. People are in need of better mental health, but it doesn't have to be on the couch. Okay, not everybody's the same. We talk about it all the time. You guys check all the boxes, and it is absolutely phenomenal what you all are doing, what you're giving and pouring into so many people and kids out there. How do people find you? What's the best way to contact you? Where do you play on social?
Yeah, so definitely our website, right? So the equest.org. Thank you so much. And then we are also on Facebook as well as Instagram and LinkedIn. And so So with the EQuest has its own pages, and then on Instagram, the Hooves for Heroes has its own as well. So Hooves and the number 4 Heroes.
Okay, and that is your first responder veteran program, right? And family.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But the equest.org will get you to all of those places, and the main EQuest pages on both the Facebook and the Instagram will get you to the other pages as well.
All right, so definitely go over there, like and follow. Yes. And, if you are hearing something that attracted you about the programming, about working with Amy and Ruth, just equest.org. Yes. E with the QUEST.org for those of you listening on your favorite podcast app. We cannot thank you enough for this time. Your programs, like I said, there's so many of them, but you hit the highlights. And John, I know you want to.
I do have a question though, and and 44 years, EQuest equine therapy has been around, right? And I didn't know that it it's been that, we've been using equine therapy for 44 years. I've just been introduced to it, within the last, I'd say 10 years. Was it used back then a lot, or was it, how did it get to this point? And I know we don't really have a lot of time, but it seems like this should have, not many people understand what equine therapy is about and why did it take so long.
I think a couple of things, that it's a non-traditional therapy, and a lot of times insurance does not cover those things. We actually don't bill out to insurance. So we do scholarship programming. We do get some services covered. Obviously, our veterans participate free of charge because of our funding that we have. But I think that's some of the reasons why, is that not everybody understands how to use these services and how to financially be able to do it. So that's part of it. I think since 2000 that we've seen a big shift in services for mental health. And I think that's probably has helped our programs, working with our counselors. And that's why we've seen such an exponential growth there. A lot of people are understanding the need for it. And it's not become such a stigma, especially for the counseling side of it, that it's okay to need some help for your mental health and not just physical and cognitive issues. So I think that's part of it, is that making sure that people understand that this is part of keeping yourself healthy too.
That is amazing.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and thank you again so much for coming on tonight, for explaining all your programming. And don't be a stranger to EQuest. I'm going to pop your website up again. It's equest.org. Reach out and get over there. There's nothing stopping you. And go have fun. And more important, if you want to dip a toe in, volunteer, right? So always looking for volunteers. Thank you guys so much. We will be in touch, and keep doing that amazing work that you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Thank you all so much for creating this platform and letting us share. It's so special. Thank you both.
Great to visit you guys.
Absolutely. See you soon.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
That hit me here, man. That definitely hit me right in the chest.
Well, it's just like if you're struggling, but you don't want to take the step by yourself, make it a family thing. Know you're going to do the work, but make it a family thing. Or, you got some veteran friends, sign up together. Yeah. It's well worth it. And, they've been around for 44 years. They've got the evidence, back programs to prove what they're doing is legit, and it absolutely works. I love the movement, the PT part. Like I never clued in on like just riding bareback or even laying on a horse, and how that can help you with the physical part. It's really cool.
Yeah, I was reading up on that. That it has tremendous benefits on so many different aspects between physical and mental. To check it out, just get online and look at EQuest. That program is amazing. For sure.
Well, you know what was online? I have a green check mark. So to our Instagram family, apologies. I'm pretty sure like you guys are seeing this. If you're seeing this, just put it in the comments. We see you. Otherwise, I'm going to wonder again. But it's a green check mark here, which means all systems go in the StreamYard back office here. So we are on a mission because Instagram is limiting live feeds as well as doing Instagram live videos. So please go over to Instagram. We are a badge of honor on Instagram, and subscribe there. We need 1,000 subscribers. We're almost at 800. We need 1,000 to be able to do the Instagram live. So please do us a huge favor and go over there and follow us. Wherever you're joining us in social media land, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing you excellent content like tonight. go to our website for everything else. Reach out to us directly. You have a question, you want to get connected to services, a badgeofhonor.org. You'll see a blue donate button. Hit that button. We cannot continue to do this and provide the services to our first responders and our veterans without your help. Every dime goes back into our programming so we can continue to do what we do at no cost to them. So please, hit that donate button. You can also hit the events tab and see where we are. We have got some private events coming up. We are in department. We've got that one coming up in September. We'll have one that will be open to different departments in December. But if you want to bring a badge of honor in to talk about wellness and resiliency and what it means, the tangible skills to build it, to combat the stresses and the trauma of the job, reach out to us at badgeofhonor.org, fill out that form, our number's on there, reach out and we can get that scheduled. We will be out at the Dallas 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb Saturday, September 6th. Huge shout out to them for naming a badge of honor as their beneficiary. And I went on the website today, John, all the slots for the climbers are done. So
the Dallas Stair Climb sells out like a Ozzy Osbourne concert within the first 1 minute, within 60 seconds, they're sold out.
So there's no extra room for climbers, but come on down, support them. Remember 9/11, there's a social event after, and that's at the Comerica building in downtown Dallas. You can go to the Dallas 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb on Facebook and find out more. Hey, to all of you first responders out there, you have got a group, a giant army of prayer warriors that pray for you to return to your family safely every single day. Thank you for what you do in our communities. To all of our veterans out there, thank you for fighting the good fight that allows John and I to do what we do and a show like this every single week. For all of our active duty personnel spread out across the globe, we are praying for you as well. Thank you for defending our nation and our shores right here at home. John, take us home.
Once again, you said it terrifically. A big shout out. We lost some officers this week. I don't have all their departments in front of me, but bless the families and bless the colleagues that they've worked with. We got to watch from here, guys. Peace.
Take care, everybody. See you next time.
A Badge of Honor podcast is produced for the OBBM Network podcast and protected under copyright law. For content permissions, please submit your request to abadgeofhonor.com on the content page. For OBBM Network programming information, please call 214-714-0495 today.